So I'm gonna tell you kids a little story about how little Debbie lost her front tooth. So I was at a tournament last weekend and we were having like a good time, even though we had lost all the games because it was a JV tournament. We weren't really gonna win anything because we're freshmen, right? So we get to our second game and they're not as good as the rest. And we're doing actually like really good. And that's great because we're not an elite team. We are not an elite team. So when we were winning, it was like crazy. We were like so hyped. But then they started getting aggressive and shit. And this one girl, this
Huge ass bitch. I'm telling you, huge ass bitch.
decided that she gonna be really aggressive with me. Like, what am I gonna do that's gonna affect you? Like, she was so big that no matter what I did, it would not make a difference because
She was just that motherfucking big.
just like pushing on me, elbowing me in the face all the time. And my coach could tell that I was getting mad. I was about to straight up like kick her in the vagina. But so he put me on the bench and I chilled out for a while. But then he put me back in the game and I was like, you know what, fuck that bitch. I'm gonna do something real crazy. And I was like, she was just like swinging her fucking elbows around. And I was like, you know what, fuck that. And so I went behind her and she saw that. And she
She goes, ah!
hits me right in the fucking tooth and falls out. It falls out. It falls out of my fucking mouth onto my hand. And I'm sitting there like, what the fuck? Please let that not be my front tooth. Please let it be my molar. Please let it be something in the back. But it was not in the back, y'all. It was not in the back. And mind you, I did not see this coming. Like, when it happened, I didn't even know it happened until I looked down and saw my tooth in my hand. Like, it didn't hurt when it happened. So I thought I was fine. And then I looked in my hand and I was like, what the? And so I ran so quickly to my coach and I was like, because I couldn't talk. So I was like, bro. And he's like, is that a tooth? I'm like, and so like we just like run outside and I'm like crying like a little fucking baby. Cause like what's running through my mind right now is like, oh my god, I'm going to be ugly for the rest of my life. I'm gonna be a fucking pirate. No one's gonna marry me. I'm gonna get made fun of. I'm gonna become a loser. All that shit. And like I did not know that that you could like put your tooth back in or get it fixed or whatever. I did not know that actually. So I was like, oh shit, I'm not gonna have a tooth for the rest of my life. I was like so wrecked about it. And then I was like, oh shit, and my parents aren't gonna let me play basketball anymore. Fuck, I know these niggas are gonna be like, no, you getting hurt too much. Because before I had dislocated my knee like like 4 or 5 times. So they're like, no, this is the last straw. You can't play anymore. So I was like, oh my god, my world is gonna fall apart because of this damn tooth. So I was crying so hard. And they were like, hey, Deborah, does it even hurt? And I was like, nah, it doesn't even hurt. And then they're like, so why you crying? And I was like, I wanted to explain, but I couldn't talk like that, so it wouldn't even, I was like, nah, fuck y'all. And everybody was laughing like it was a fucking joke, like, nah, this shit was not funny at the moment anyways, because I didn't know there was a solution. So my coach was like, chill, Deborah, chill. You could put it back today. You can get it fixed today and everything like that. And I was like, for real? And he was like, but you gotta hurry up to the hospital because like it says your tooth can die, whatever. And everybody looked something up on Google or whatever, and it's like put it in milk and shit like that. And so one of the parents drove me, because my mom was not there and it was out of town. And so one of the parents drove me to the hospital. And she had called her, like her dentist or whatever, and they said, you have 1 hour to get to the hospital and get it fixed. And the first hospital we went to, they didn't have an oral dentist. So we had to drive downtown to fucking Memorial Hermann. And it had already been 2 hours. And so we were there like, and I was like, fuck, man. I'm gonna be toothless still, because I thought like once the tooth was dead, there's no other option. Like, because I was really ignorant about this. I did not know anything about teeth. And so we finally get to the hospital and it takes forever for them to get to me. And finally all the dentists are in there and they're checking me out and shit. And it was, oh my god, if you watch the show Grey's Anatomy, bro, it was Grey's Anatomy up in that bitch, man. It was exactly like the show. They were like talking and making jokes and shit, and it was like Christina and Gray. It was hilarious. And I was so happy because they were like, I don't know, I was like watching TV. But anywho, when they were putting my tooth back in, it hurt like a bitch. I was like, ah. But then they put me on that morphine, and I was like chilling. And when my parents came, I didn't even, they were like complaining and shit, but I was all fucked up, man. I was like, I was like, fuck y'all niggas, I want morphine. Anywho, that's the story of how I got my tooth knocked out.